What is it, Fred? Where the fuck are you? What? 950K? What is this? Feed your chicken time. You said they were Arabs. They don't understand numbers that don't end in 10 zeros. It's you, isn't it, Fred? Making a quick buck. You fucking ponce. Yeah, I can talk. I am talking. Now, my little toy boy, if you want that income, you get your skates on. Though it might be a bit wobbly, kissing ass with them on. And get me those Arab clients to view the flat. What? No. You knew it was close to the American embassy when you described it as in prime diplomatic London. I know it's done. I'm the girl who got it down, remember? But that's capitalism. Hi, Dad. Yes, it is me. Dad, you mustn't believe everything that you read. No, Dad, that was another bank. My company isn't paying anyone millions of pounds. Dad, is that what you called about? What about Jussie? Dad, I've been hanging around the phone for some good news, but... Dad, you should hang up. Dad, I'm waiting for Toni's call. Dad, she's your granddaughter. Actually, Dad, you should hang up, you know. Yes, Dad, I can. I mean, I will talk to you later. I can pay the phone bills. Yes, Dad. Bye. My friend? The day of the middleman is done. That was right. Never trust gold brokers or agents. All this talk about proximity to the American embassy, when in reality I was talking to Hillary just in New York the other week, and she assures me that they are moving the embassy from here and taking it there where it can be protected. Come on. Aren't there any Arabs, Russians, Lithuanian arms dealers, anybody who would like to buy a state-of-the-art two-bedroom flat in the heart of London out there? Any takers? Well, that's how I was taught to do business in the city. And that's how he came to me. I knew him as Toni, Mr. Venables. We've been at parties and stuffy occasions together where I avoided him and he me. I knew him as a shipping magnate.
Hey, Shaila! Come and have a drink with me at my club. I want to talk to you as a friend.
Friend? KSA, I was never a friend of his. I wasn't ready for the racket. I thought this was a gentleman's club.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what's the difference between vultures and bankers? Vultures at least have the decency to wait till you are dead.
How did he show it? Well, when the Chancellor appointed me special advisor to the transport industry loans, Toni here led a delegation to the newspapers and to the banking minister, telling him that I was incompetent and lightweight and the merchant marine industry had no faith in my experience or expertise. Toni here sent a petition to the newspapers. There were articles in the Sunday Mail and the Spectator and the Telegraph questioning my competence and the fact that I had an offshore account which they dug up. So, after those leaked reports, I sent an email to our Toni, telling him that he was a sneaky jerk and that he should pick on someone his own size. Sure, I did mention that the ministry was thinking of tax on foreign registered shipping, and Tony here took that to be a piece of blackmail. He forwarded the mail with an accompanying blurb which said, "Look who the Chancellor has appointed. Some Asian illiterate bitch." So what does he want from me? Was I going to rake over those copied emails? Hey! Shouldn't one take it on the chin and move on? A girl has a dignity. You sure your club will let a woman in?
I'm offering you a drink, Shaila, not membership. This is an informal meeting. I would ask if it was only a favor, but I need a loan.
I've read the papers. You need more than a loan. You need a few stiff drinks before you start to talk about it. Didn't they just threaten to shoot a member of your crew?
Rumors, the press. I believe nothing. The Foreign Office is handling it, and I've got a mercenary company standing by in Saudi.
Everyone in the world knew that his tanker was requisitioned by the Sudanese pirates.
That's right.
What everyone didn't know was that the insurance company was refusing to pay because they suspected Tony's friends, the mercenaries, had hired the pirates themselves in order to trigger an insurance claim. Insurance scam.
Come on, Shaila. Everyone knows what's going on. This can't fail. And if the Foreign Office can't handle it, I'll send my lads in.
And risk the lives of your crew.
Sea Rambo assures me that they've got ways to eliminate the pirates with minimum risk.
That's what you want the money for. To pay the mercenaries to fight the pirates, huh?
Well, not exactly. Just some of it. The rest will pay you.
You haven't mentioned figures yet. When you say some, there's got to be some more, yeah?
You see, Shaila, no one else would understand this, but you being Indian, you'll appreciate it. I actually want the rest of the loan to organize a lavish wedding for my best friend and comrade, Bastir.
Oh, you mean the brokeback prince?
The very same.
Why do you have to pay for the wedding? His father's loaded.
No, for this wedding, is it? He would pay up. I thought you said you read the papers.
Yeah. What's her name? That black model. Yes, Fortina.
Yeah, that's the one. Poor Basdev. He can't match up to her humongous earnings. And you know the truth. Bas might be a prince and all of that, but money-wise.
Hey, I think I know the game.
I'm sure you do. Castle in Scotland booked for the week. Helicopters to fly in the celebrity guests. Hello Magazine picture exclusive. And all these celebrities and guests coming up to the wedding.
And the Titanic and all as well.
Yeah, of course. Indian newspapers falling over each other to compare the cost of the wedding with the cost of the Titanic.
Oh, and you are willing to risk your neck to the sound of a few £1 million.
Come on, Shaila, we are all adults here. Let's not be naive. I can pay you the day after the wedding with interest, you know that.
How do I know that?
Because, darling, you're Indian.
Meaning?
You know the score. Spend 1-2 million on the wedding and invite the great sheikhs of industry and stars of the film world and football and industry, and then rake up the cash in wedding presents to, let's say, 5-6 million pounds. Voila. You've converted all your black money on which you pay no tax into white declarable cash. Pretty much like water into wine at the wedding feast. Real assets, real profits, and tax free.
Now my turn. What makes you think that my bank will buy all this bullshit about society weddings, turning black money into white, dodging Indian income tax, etc., etc.? And what kind of security do they have for such fair castle in the air loan?
Come on, Shaila, I wasn't talking about you. I was actually talking about you and your dodgy friends, who everyone knows wants to convert black into white.
Excuse me? I don't have any dodgy friends.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Of course you don't. I was just randomly interested to bring this opportunity to you.
Generous as always, huh?
That's there, that's there. After all, which father would look after his babies? Oh, sorry. Which aunt would look after her nieces?
I'll have to think about it. How much do you want?
Well, I don't want to scare you, but it's a tidy sum.
Okay. And what's my guarantee? I mean, what is the collateral?
My business, my ships. You know this can't fail, right?
Did you anticipate the Somali pirates?
Of course I did. Some bastards are both probably working hand in hand with them. Can't really get the right stuff nowadays.
Didn't anticipate that then, huh? So what is your tanker worth to me? The Somalis may blow it up if you don't pay them the cash that they are demanding. Then where am I?
The insurance, baby. The insurance is twice as valuable.
You fucking idiot! What do you think I do for a living? Big daisies! The story is that Tony here insured his ships and had them boarded by the fucking mercenaries. You are a real enterprising gentleman. You come here and you tell me, give me several £1 million, mortgage your life and reputation to your friends against thin air.
You see, you can look upon as an unusual proposition, a friendly one.
And unforeseeable in the court of law, yeah?
No, Shaila, that's not what I'm after. Make it enforceable, no? Get your Indian lawyer friends to dream up some watertight scam. Look, you don't want to be missing this opportunity.
Hello? Yes, Tony? No, I can't do this deal. What? No. I have some personal problems. No, not financial. Fuck financial. It's family business.
Yeah, and I've got a family problem, like it's a drug problem. I can't get any. Look, Shaila, why don't we meet and swap problems, alright?
You know this is not a joke. My niece is in severe trouble. If she doesn't get a transplant in the next few weeks, she'll die.
Okay, look, I'm really sorry to hear about it, but what about the deal? Look, Shaila, the fact is that they'll take your word for it, and I know the inside story. Your company's legit deals might have failed, but your private legit ones are up and running. Have you thought about it?
Yes, I have thought about it. And no, Tony, it can't be done. Huh? What?
Look, Shaila, I'm really sorry to wake you up at this time, and it's absolutely no time to call upon a lady, but things have really gotten out of hand. Unless Baz can give Portina a date, she threatens to fly off with this Arab playboy whose father owns half of London as well as a slice of the Middle East and oil wells, and oh God, I'm so sad and disappointed because his father is my client and I fucking introduced them. Look, Baz is really desperate. Do something, please. And help me out, please.
To each his own desperation. Look, I haven't thought it over, even followed it up. I mean, I thought you were joking. Come on, it's your word against mine. It's a good proposition and all that, but this really isn't business.
Come on, Shaila, neither is putting money under your mattress and keeping it there. You know that. But why weren't you asleep?
I would, if I could.
Why?
You know, my niece, she really needs a transplant. Both her kidneys have failed. You know, at least in India, you can buy a right match. Wait.
Yeah, nice country.
By morning, we'd sign the contract. I would give him £2 million and he would give me the same in wedding gift receipts. And he would give me back the two when his ships came in. I would keep that for myself, and what would he sign for? I left it up to him because the contract was his idea.
Oh, you know the Merchant of Venice?
The Merchant of Dubai by Wahid Alam Shakespeare.
Oh, come on, Shaila. I've said sorry, right? But you know the play. Well, you can have my kidney for your niece, for Jussie. You know what? That's what you put into the contract. Just like the play, it'll be a joke.
But there has to be a match.
Fine, I'll get tested. Desperate times call for desperate measures, Shaila.
Supermodel Portina disappears on cuckolding playboy's yacht on the eve of a wedding to so-called Prince Basdev Singh. The prince is said to be giving chase to the runaway yacht in a boat owned by his friend, shipping magnate Dhondy.
Well, it was sealed, but he should have looked at the contract. Of course, I was invited to the wedding to see my money being frittered away, but wild horses or even wilder jets wouldn't have lured me there. You know, I may not seem like the kind of girl, but I would rather enjoy a life of imagination than of will. So, no wedding, no gifts?
Shaila, we had the checks from the wedding guests all lined up and signed, but no fucking taxman is ever going to believe that the checks rolled in without the wedding actually happening. You know what? I'm really sorry. You can have the ship, that's a guarantee.
You're wrong. That's not my guarantee. It's your perfectly typed DNA kidney.
Yes, but you know what? Let's not carry the joke too far. You don't want a mess of meat and blood when you can have your millions back, right?
I want my child, my niece, to live.
What the hell, Shaila? You don't need me for that. I've spoken to the doctors and they've said, yes, the type is rare, but not impossible. And I expect good news about the damn hijack any day now.
But it wasn't good news. It was bad news. Of course, I didn't take him to court. He took me to court. Tony's lawyers drew up a ruse.
My client, my lord, has signed a contract assigning his kidneys to be extracted under the jurisdiction of Saudi Arabian or other Sharia law. And since the Yemen has an extradition treaty with the Saudi Arabia, my client will most certainly be sent to that country and his organs extracted under this extraordinary contract, my lord. I am afraid these Islamicists don't understand our sense of humor or read Shakespeare. So, did you consider this to be a serious proposition, Miss Patel?
Yes, Your Honor. It was a literary game. The money that was paid, the money that was lent was to be repaid back with interest in the normal way. So,
why isn't there a contract to say so? I'm assuming it's a great deal of money you would have induced your clients to lend Mr. Venables. The exact sum is not mentioned in your application. It says £2 million sterling.
Well, it was a matter of trust.
Trust? You tell me, Miss Patel, what does one have to do to win that kind of intimate trust from you? I would like to have a go.
Well,
the only circumstance in which I can see it as a joke and envisage you to drawing up such a contract and basing the rest on trust is if you would have had an intimate relationship. Like a wife may have such kind of contract with her husband or the father of her children, or Romeo might have such kind of a contract with Juliet, since we are all being Shakespearean here. My lord, Antony and Cleopatra might be more appropriate. I get the inference. So do answer the question, Miss Patel.
Well, Dhondy was a friend.
A friend? And you got the details of his blood type and the copy of his DNA analysis. By what means did you obtain these? I'm assuming you got all of this for your purposes before you drew up this devil's contract?
Your Honor, he gave it to me. Tony, as I said, came the night that I couldn't sleep. And you know, he's very cute. And you know, he has those Johnny Depp stubble and those hollow pits on his cheeks, and then he bought champagne rounds, and then he stayed. And the very next day, he bought his matching tissue profile.
Order, order! My client, my lord, is in serious risk. If he's removed from this country and sent to Saudi Arabia, his human rights will be violated.
The fellow began to quote cases and precedents for refusing to extradite Tony, not on the wretched charge of insurance fraud, but because of my stupid piece of paper. My contract, my pound of flesh.
Shaila, 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 you saved me.
Tell me the truth. Do you deserve to be saved? Have you been trying to pull a fast one using my money to hire the fucking mercenaries to board the ships which you yourself hijacked? That's Machiavelli.
You really expect me to answer that?
Think about it, asshole. Our little contract saves you from facing the music in Arabia. Then what about me?
Sweetheart, you think I'm a bastard, don't you? That I have thrown you overboard to save my own arms. But honey, look. All yours.
What?
The money from the story, Shaila. Look! 3 US papers and exclusive footage of the yacht race sold to the Scandal Channel. At this very point in time, Bas is chasing Portina out into the Mediterranean and the world is reporting it. Portina, the runaway bride-to-be, and Bas, the injured, jilted lover, hell-bent on revenge. Is he armed? Is he going to shoot inside and strangle Desdemona?
Well, will he?
Wait and watch, baby, wait and watch. Bas is using my yacht. He runs out of fuel in the middle of the bed. Meanwhile, Portina and the lover have reached Tunisia. We are going to squeeze every damn drop out of it, Shaila, and you can have a big one from the cakes.
And what about the rest?
Well, Portina has to be paid to play the game.
1 minute. Are you saying that this whole thing was fixed? That there was never going to be a wedding?
Allah, of course there was going to be a wedding. Would I like that, baby? The plan pretty much was that the wedding will happen and the cash will come in as presents, and then Portina will run off with inside, not before it. But this fool boss suddenly decided to fall in love with her fucking bald head, and that scared Portina shitless, and she made a run for it a day early. But you know what, she's not an idiot. I had a call with her, I convinced her, and she said, yeah, the chase is on, and she's going to play along. But boss, poor heartbroken that he is, he's got to do that boat for real now. He might even get away from the script and do them both.
1 minute. Are you implying that Portina betrayed you?
She fucking ran away, didn't she?
I mean, yes. But are you saying that she knew that the wedding was to get that the wedding was to be a scam?
Yeah.
To get fake checks?
Of course, Shaila, she had to know. Otherwise, she would think that the cash coming in the wedding were her own and claim it. She had to know the details of the game.
And the other game? The tanker and the insurance fraud?
Steady on. I haven't told you anything about insurance fraud.
No. But you did mention to Bas Deo and Portina where you were getting the money from, that I was supposed to be a scapegoat.
Honey, don't get your knickers in a twist, my darling. Bas thinks that I did all of this in friendship.
Portina?
Oh, okay, you got me there. She knew. In fact, she was the one who suggested that I get my DNA tested and the blood types and all of that. But
Wait a minute. Are you saying that the match on the kidney tissue was bullshit and falsified.
Well, the idea was that they would be falsified if we needed to falsify it. But sweetheart, the match was coincidentally just right.
You fucking bastard! So she knew that you need my piece of paper to get off being extradited, and you didn't miss that it read Saudi Arabian or Sharia law.
What sort of an idiot do you think I am, Shaila?
You know, I can tear up this contract. This never happened.
Sweetheart.
Then they parcel you off to Yemen for mass fraud.
You think my lawyers don't have a copy?
Fuck you! I want my money or all!
Yes, my sweetheart. What will you do? Tell the judge that you gave me a lot of money to pull a tax on the income tax man? Look, Shaila, I'm giving you all the money that I can from the publication rights of the story.
What do I do for the rest? The men that I bought it from don't get off easy. They could kill me.
Well, we all have our problems, right? But you've got this lovely flat here. Mayfair, Armani design couches, 2 original Chagalls worth a neat triple, I would say. Falling ceilings and all of that. Sell the flat, Shaila. Sell the flat.
I spent 7 months in jail for breaking the bottle and sticking it into his neck. No, the story didn't come out. And of course, Tony didn't get extradited. Look. Crystal rosé and a bottle of sleeping pills. I'm waiting for the bids. Oh! And for the phone call. See? Hello? Dad? Dad, can you hear me? Dad, yeah, what? You're in Dubai? What? Wait, Dad, wait. Dad, are you still there? It's the best day of our lives. And almost no chance of rejection. Dad, you should give her 25 kisses from her aunt. Dad, she's your granddaughter after all. Yes, Dad, I'm waiting to sell the flat. Yes, of course. What? Absolutely no chance of rejection? Dad, what about the donor? Oh, of course, it's none of our business. Of course, the government can do whatever they want with their prisoners. Dad, I think there's someone at the door. Maybe a buyer for the flat. Yes, Dad. Dad, I will speak to you later, okay? Dad, give them my love. I'm so happy. You're here. I mean, what?